It's hard to imagine Cartoon Network without Hanna-Barbera. See how the studio's huge library made up the channel at its launch in 1992. Now, of course, 8-bit cartoons wasn't the only thing running on the channel. There was also Popeye, MGM, and pre-1948 Warner Bros. Cartoons. But Ted Turner's purchase of the Hanna-Barbera studio and its properties in 1991 pretty much kickstarted making the vision of a 24-hour channel running nothing but cartoons a reality. And the channel, as many of you know, turned out to be a ginormous success, introducing a whole new generation to the likes of Fred Flintstone, Yogi Bear, Secret Squirrel, Touche Turtle, Scooby-Doo, the works. Hanna-Barbera would also be responsible for the channel's early hits, and some were the last to be made by the studio until its slow absorption into Warner Bros. But did you know there was a time where HB could have been folded into Cartoon Network instead of WB? Let's dive in, but first, a word from our sponsor. Today's video was brought to you by Hello Bonsai. Hello Bonsai is the easy-to-use management app for self-employed freelancers and small businesses. Whether you're a web developer, graphic designer, illustrator, or marketer, Hello Bonsai got you covered, with tons of services on one platform. They help you find clients, manage your finances, contracts, and more. Find new clients for your business with Hello Bonsai today. Click the link in the description to get started. Now, on with the video. One of the consequences of the Turner-Time Warner merger meant that Warner Bros. Was now in charge of Hanna-Barbera as well as CN, and with that, they closed up shop at the old HB studio at Cahuenga Boulevard.
1998 or 99, Hanna-Barbera, the property had been sold because Turner had merged with Time Warner, and they moved us to Sherman Oaks. So we're now I'm in the same building with Warner Bros., even though I'm working for Hanna-Barbera. And I'm working on Cow and Chick, and then I worked on Powerpuff while I was there.
The last productions by Hanna-Barbera during this time were the early Cartoon Network's cartoons, as well as some standalone pilots, Dexter's Lab Ego Trip, the short Tom and Jerry the Mansion Cat, and the earliest Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies from 1998 to 2001. I got to chat with Brian A. Miller, Senior Vice President of Cartoon Network and former head of Cartoon Network Studios, and he revealed something interesting concerning the then-future ownership of the Hanna-Barbera properties. There was a long debate over who would take control of the library. Cartoon Network argued it should be under the network because CN ran all the programs on the air. WB argued the library should be theirs since they owned other libraries and created content as a studio. Ultimately, Time Warner made the decision and WB won, but CN did fight hard to keep them. This makes a lot of sense. I remember as a kid in the late 90s and early 2000s seeing a lot of Hanna-Barbera merchandise with the Cartoon Network branding on it. What's on the Yogi Bear coloring book? Cartoon Network. Scooby-Doo VHS? Cartoon Network. Comic books? Cartoon Network, and so on and so forth. Sometimes the Hanna-Barbera characters were marketed as Cartoon Network classics, like in this Dairy Queen commercial.
Where's everybody going? To Dairy Queen for the classic Toons toys.
But there's another reason. And the simple answer is, at the time, Cartoon Network and Boomerang shortly after was the only place you could watch the classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons. You couldn't find them on USA Cartoon Express anymore, or TBS's After School Kids block, or that one syndicated channel. You had to go to CN. When you think of Fred Flintstone or Scooby-Doo, you're gonna think Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network Studios opened its doors in 2000, and many new cartoons were in production. One of them being a TV movie that marked CN's first and only production based on one of the legacy HB properties, 2001's The Flintstones on the Rocks. Earlier that same year, William Hanna would pass away, and from here on in, aside from name only, Hanna-Barbera was no more, and Warner Bros. Would fully take over productions of the studio's classic characters, mostly Scooby-Doo, along with Bill and Joe's Tom and Jerry for MGM. Cartoon Network Studios would now have full ownership of the previous series made by HB for the channel. It will continue to make original programming. But history has to repeat itself, because as it is writing, the higher-ups at Warner's Discovery has shut down the Cartoon Network Studios building, and CNS will now move to the Warner Bros. Animation building at the Warner Bros. Ranch in Burbank. Again, so much animation history is now no more, all because of money. Big deal. Warner's treatment of the HB properties hasn't been the best, but I can't help but wonder what if CN owned them instead. What do you think? Would they have been in better hands at Cartoon Network? Leave your answers in the comments. Until next time, I'm 47 Cartoon Guy, and I gotta fly. If you'd like to support this series and many other videos, click the link below to our Patreon. You could get a special credit at the end of each video, and a shout out to your YouTube channel or blog, a commission by me, and now my $5 tier, in addition to early access and special credits, you can request a Hanna-Barbera special or movie for me to review as part of my fantastic legacy of Hanna-Barbera mini-sode series. A lot goes into the making of these videos, and your help can make production go smoother, in terms of me paying for software, research materials, etc. And as always, if you're not able to donate, you could help by liking, commenting, subscribing, and clicking the bell icon. I thank you, and I gotta fly. I'll catch you later.